The snake's body grows rapidly when it eats food, but every once in a while the snake will bite off its own tail and puts it aside to make offerings. And then, a giant hand fell from the sky and took the snake's tail. They have no choice but to repeat the process over and over again. Once he fails to deliver the tail to the hand's satisfaction, then he will be punished by the giant hand. One day a male snake appeared on the ground. Jack. The two snakes looked at each other and fell in love, and they lived happily ever after. Soon the snake gave birth to 3 children. One day, a giant hand came to collect the tribute. She didn't realize that Jack was so vicious. To save his tail, he replaced it with his children. By the time Annie realized it, it was too late. It was only then that Annie saw Jack for what he was. Jack was using her for the safety of her 2 children. Annie had to eat more apples every day. Under her careful care, the 2 children were able to break out of their shells. Annie taught her children how to survive. On this day, the giant hand came to collect the offerings. The hand said, "You have 3 snakes, but only 1 tail. Are you bullying the honest people?" Annie had to give all her tails. As a warning, the giant hand took away the snake's fangs. After that, Annie began to eat around the clock. It was the only way to keep her child safe. Eventually, Annie was overworked. She ate the apple and never moved again. With Annie gone, they took over Annie's work. But when the giant hand came to collect the offering, the 2 of them didn't eat enough. The tail of the offering was too small. A small snake had to choose to sacrifice itself. With the passage of time, the original little snake had grown up. One day, the little snake found a huge snake skeleton on a cliff. Elder Snake shouted from above, "This is the truth." Originally, snakes were free to eat the fruit. There would be no giant hand to collect their tails. But as they grew bigger and bigger, the giant hand began to fear the power of the snakes. They were afraid that the python would take their place, so they began to attack the tails of the snakes to control the size of the snakes and remove their fangs. The elder snake sent his little snakes to make fangs and distributed them to every snake in the room. With the elder's encouragement, the snakes gained confidence, so they decided to conspire to get rid of the giant hand. They offered their tails to the giant hand as they always did. When the giant hand came to collect the tail, the snakes suddenly leapt up and bit the giant hand. But since they had no venom, they couldn't hurt the giant hand. In a fit of rage, the giant hand swatted the snakes to death. Only the smaller snakes survived without resistance. The souls of their dead brethren all appeared beside the snake. Then the souls of the snakes converged on the snake's fangs. They became the venom in the fangs, and so the snake gets the venom. And when the giant hand comes to collect the tail, it opens its fangs and bites the giant hand. The snake has succeeded in saving the snakes. At last, they don't have to give up their tails like the giant hand. They can live happily ever after.